Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for your joining us seminar today. I am Jasmine, and it is my great honor to be your MC today.
Hi, I'm Sean, another MC for today's seminar too. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
Have you ever done something like a highlights building project before, Sean? I always avoid this type of project if I can.
Yes, if I remember, it's one of our third year project, isn't it? And do you still remember it?
Of course, it is a vivid nightmare for me because we are have to deal with like the structure, environment, also the service, facility, and especially about the law and regulation as well.
I know, right? Regulation and non-limited design path. Plus, we need to calculate the gross for areas work, as well as another intention to make the profit for the project.
I just try to imagine if we do this in the real life, it's going to be really messy for sure. We need to do and we need to talk with the many position. Sean, is that better for we to have a chance to listen to the real architect that actually have a long experience highlights building project in the real life?
That sounds great, Jasmine, and could be benefit for lots of us. I think it's time to introduce our guest.
Of course, I am personally very honest to introduce P. Tom. Please welcome and give a warm welcome to P. Tom. Which is a great. It's gonna be our seminar today. The topic of above and beyond, a seminar of experience and learning about the highlights building project. Please give a big hand for him. Good afternoon, P. Tom. Thanks for your joining us today. We are really appreciate that you were here for us. Today is going to be very interesting since you were here.
We want to know more about you, Tom. Like where you graduated, which company are you from, and what do you do right now? Can you please introduce yourself to us?
ค่ะพี่ทอม I think you need to turn on your audio.
Sorry, that is busy day. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So today, thank you very much to have me today to the seminar session. So for my background, my name is Meanmakkah Yothakul. You guys can call me Tom. And for my education, I have my bachelor degree at the Thammasat University in 2007. And after that, to continue my career, I try to continue and know myself. So I live 2 years in master degree at Thammasat University to work with urban architect for 8 months as a former architect. And after that, I try to know more about architecture. So I go to primary and trainer and I have a chance to work with them. And I have learned a lot about high-rise building, and I appreciate that. So I think I talk to myself that this is my way, my architectural, my career, my life to continue in the architectural way. So I worked with them for 1 year and 8 months. After that, I need to know more about uh, the world. So I heading myself to France to continue my master degree in architecture. And 7 years, I have learned a lot about the thing could I could I have would I have, and it's important to design to continue in architecture and to build a high-rise building. So I have learned about design for architect for 2 years, and after that, I learned about the glass design and architecture. This is important things in the high-rise building. And after that, finally, I got my uh, master degree in architecture in specialist in architecture, environment, and digital culture. And after my master degree, I came back to Bangkok, and again I have a chance to work with Farmer and Turner Thailand. As you see the project of Farmer and Turner, it's I think approximately 90% is high-rise building in Thailand and overseas. This is the sample project that have finished in Bangkok. This is interesting, right?
ค่ะ yeah it is. It looks really amazing and it looks so interesting background, and I think we actually have a lot of questions to ask you today. Shall we start, Sean?
Yeah, I agree with Jasmine. And let's get into our seminar topics, above and beyond.
um, for me, I actually have a question. What is actually inspiring you to do the highlight building project as an architecture พี่ทอมคะ
Oh yeah, inspiration. So I have a lot of inspiration life, like art student in architecture, but more for high-rise building. When I was the third year student in architecture, I went to Singapore. It's field trip maybe. Um, I visit the project of One North site, which is designed by Zaha Hadid. Everyone know she's a legend.
yeah
Um, that's what interesting, yes. But I have more interested by the high-rise building. When I stood in front of the skyscraper around the Ruffle Park in Singapore,
yeah
maybe someone already there. That's what huge and that's beautiful. Grazing facade reflected the color of sky. I thought to myself, can I do that? But how? What I need to concern about the high-rise building, the skyscraper. But I have already answered now. I already work with it, and I already built the high-rise in Bangkok, and I maybe more in the nearly future.
Wow, it's like you have a lot of experience about that, and like also
A
in
bit.
Thailand and in the
Yeah.
abroad as well. So should we go to the next question, Sean?
Yes. Mm, that sounds really extraordinary to me and sound quite difficult. And lots of obstacles could occur during that project. And what about the unexpected problems, like other things like delay shipping? Sorry, some wrong question.
Sorry ค่ะพี่ทอม we actually have a long question.
Okay. Um,
Okay,
Again, please for the question. I can hear that. As
can
well.
you hear Sean well คะ
Not clearly. The question is concerned what to be
Oh yeah,
concerned.
it was what we actually need to concern. Yeah, when we do
Okay.
the design with the highlight building project, what do you
Okay.
think? Yeah, what is going on with about that? Yeah.
Yeah, on this question for design a high rise, okay. As I know, architecture is the between art and science. That means we design a beautiful sculpture, right?
Yeah.
And and but we need to put the function on it. But the function, what it is the function? How to make this splendid sculpture functional? Yeah, I can answer that. In my opinion, um, but there has more than that. I think I want. Uh, I meant the process of the design and realization of high-rise building. For me, the design process of high-rise building need three parts. in
Yeah.
majority.
Mm-hmm.
Three items. The first one is the vertical transportation, or we know
Mm-hmm.
as lift. In the high-rise
Yeah.
building, it's the vertical, so we
Mm-hmm.
need to circulation in the vertical way. So lift is the things the most important in the high-rise building. And the third is the wind load, the facade for the facade and for structure movement. Wind load, as we know, we know about the high rise is the too high building, and in the top of the building, there has a lot of wind. The wind can move the building. So we need to concern about the wind load to which will impact to the facade and the structure of the building. And the third is the fire escape. We
Mm-hmm.
need to release every one out of the facade in case of fire.
Mm.
Okay, this is the most concerning for the high-rise building.
Oh, I seem like the highlights building have a lot of problem and what we actually have to expect. And we
Yes,
actually need like a specialist to think about that as well. And probably
that's
we
right.
should we actually have like a good experience and long experience about it. So we actually very luckily to have you here. So we would like to listen to your experience more. So may I ask more about like what are the biggest challenge that you face with the design and the construction highlights building and what do you actually overcome with them คะพี่ทอม
Okay, so I prepare my presentation. Maybe it suits to the question. So most for the design of the high-rise building, I uh, need to present this slide. That the first stage of the design of high-rise building is the concept design. The concept design comply. We need to know about the land plot information in Thailand. We in the land plot information we have the regulation. We have client requirement who want to create the building like which function they need, maybe of office building or residential building or hospitality. And after that we need to prepare the construction permit documents, which is the construction permit documents and EIA report. This is important also. And after that, the production that count for uh, the drawing of tender drawing, which is will bidding the main contractor to build this high-rise building, and the construct building. It's also important to build the building. And after that, we finish the work. This is building delivery.
อืมค่ะ
Okay. After that, we will talk about the land plot. The land plot which will concern about the urban core. We will know the land plot can build how many square meter, and also we can build which function. And after that, as we know, this site, I have a sample project in this slide. This land, as you see in the slide, we have FAR in the urban code. It's 10 per 1. For the site of the land plot has maybe 8,000 square meter. You can multiply by 10. And after that, you will know how many square meter you can build in this land plot. And after that, you have OSR, is open space ratio. In this site, we need open space. for maybe green area or circulate the circulation, the wind or the sunlight, something like that. And after that, building code. After urban code is building code. This is important also. We need to know about the code for the stage of design. How we need how many meters for the staircase, how many staircase we should have in the building, something like that. For this slide, I need to please present setback of the building. It's also important in the building code. We need the building is here and the road is here. And we need 12 meters clear setback for the fire truck can be exit directly from the road to the building. And after that, we need 1/6 of the building parameters for the fire truck can be close to the building. And the 6 meters setback around the building that the fire truck can be go around the building. And also for EAA report, we need to concern about green area. The green area have two green area. The first is the sustainable green area, and the second is the water permeable green area. This is marked on the EAA report. And after that, you will know after in the detail. And also, we need a shadow setback. This is important also for the high-rise building. That is for the sunrise can be touch the ground. So we need this setback, shadow setback. We can build the high-rise building not exceed the shadow setback. And also for this slide, in the term of the vertical transportation, this building have 8 passenger lifts and 2 5-man lifts. For the first one, the 5-man lift, the 5-man can need to the speed of the lift the requirement for 1 minute from the first floor to the top floor in need to speed for 1 minute. And also in this building we separate the lift into part. The violet one is the low zone and the upper zone, the high zone in the green. Because in the capacity of the lift, it is different. Depends on the function and the requirement of the case and the client. And after that, we need to concern about the MEP transfer floor. Every 100 meters height of the building, we need 1 transfer floor for transfer all of the pipe of the mechanical system. And also structure. In the building have 1 floor for structural transfer and 4 transfer floor for the MEP. And after that, we need for the wind tunnel taste. This is in Thailand. We have 2 location. We can have a wind tunnel taste. The first one, I think, in Thammasat City, and the second one in Chulalongkorn University. But in this project, we has a company in Italy to make the wind tunnel test. What is the wind tunnel test? We need to concern about if your building have a height more than 150 meters tall. We need a wind tunnel test. The wind tunnel test, we will have a result for the wind load that will be impact to your facade, to your building. Uh, as we know, in the every part of the building, we have the results. There has a number. The most high number is the most impact of the wind. So we need to maybe you need to if your facade is the glass, we have to specific glass for that part. Maybe more thick or more strange for the glass, and also the wind load will impact to the structural of building, the structure of the building. This is show for the wind will impact to the structure. You can see the building will move in every angle. That the structural engineering will know they will uh, put more of the concrete or the iron in some part of the building to make the strange to the building. This is the perspective of the project. This is the project is the function is condominium, the residential building that has 60, 56 floor and 280 meters height.
Wow, it's really interesting. And thanks for your explanation. I can see it like the process of the building, highlights building is clear in your slide. And it's kind of like really hard to handle because you actually have to talk with like many position of the people and you like have to work as a team, not just only like one person to do it and make it happen.
Okay.
It's a lot of things happen there, and sounds so difficult. I can't imagine doing that project alone in future. But listen from you, Tom, is your explanation from the slide so clearly. And another question is, as architects, we always stay in charge of the design part. But is there another role for us to dealing with?
Yeah, as we know, architect is the first person or
Mm-hmm.
the leader of all building project, right? From the first step to the final of the building, architect need to be attached to all parts, like design part, construction part, or another part. The project that means the architect must know everything on needs from client, from marketing, from structural, mechanical into designer landscape. We need all information to design the most functional space. Also, also be like the combination on the construction stage. The first drawing that the main contractor will check is architectural drawing, the first priority. This drawing from architect, yeah, and that's because it's the combination of all information. So for me, architect has not just designer role. Architect has to be the construction lawyer able. The, the architect need to concern and know about all the code or regulation and also the marketing. We need to know about marketing. Why? That's because we need to serve or the people you will buy, you will use the building. And architect like a combinator, the combinator of all information in this project, in all project, and also like QC, quality control. We need to know, we need to check of
Mm-hmm.
every pieces of the building that build it's built like architect drawing or uh, architectural design or not. And all of the make architect is the leading role. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, it sounds interesting. But in the mid of the problem, I also wondering that what about like the good things or the interesting thing that when P Tom doing the highlights building project, what do you actually like finding the good thing of them?
Yes.
Oh, the good thing, interesting, it's a lot. Yeah.
Like,
For me, the good thing and interesting that I have when I design a high-rise building is, as you know, high-rise building is the solution of the high-value land use. So that is the good thing as the architectural thinking. Create the most functional, usable, valuable space. So we maybe 1,000 square meter, but we need to put everyone, maybe 6% in this land. How we can create it? So the high-rise building is the solution. You can building up to the sky for everyone. So the second one, in my opinion, uh, interesting. I can create the new environment, new atmosphere, new perspective that we can see when we are on the top of the roof, maybe, and we can look around and we can feel the wind cold and see the sunrise or sunset in the top of the building. That is beautiful.
mm,
It's great to know that Tom still had a great time along this project. Thank you so much for walking us through one of your remarkable highlights. Last but not least, we wanted to know about your opinions on future of the high-rise buildings.
um,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, something like how do you actually see the highlights building develop in the future or in the next few years?
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So architecture is like a fashion, maybe, I think. So we can change, but maybe the same, maybe not. Like, in my opinion, like I know the large building and the high-rise building consume a lot of energy. So I think we must concern about the environment friendly with the new construction technology, new material that could be answer that issue. For the near future, high-rise building, the trend would be ecological friendly.
Mm-hmm.
That is, the building consume few energy or release a few of CO2, or building can be create its its proper energy. Maybe something like that.
Is that right?
Yeah, thanks, ค่ะพี่ทอม Your explanation or like the way that you present is actually make me more understand about the highlights building problem and the way to solve the solution. And I got a new knowledge a lot from you since you actually share like the real experience for us. So I am really appreciate about it ค่ะพี่ทอม
Thank you for your comment.
พี่ตองครับ do you have something that you thinking about do you have encounter something that not as a plan when you're doing a high-rise building on your project?
I can hear that clearly.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
sorry. Do you have encounter something that not as a plan, like time dilation on project? How do you encounter it, Tom?
Encounter. That's mean something. That is question, right?
It's not a question like about this topic, but about the experience of yourself.
Oh, the experience. Okay. This is question. No, that's not the question.
Yes, sir.
So it seems like we actually have a question from the comment ค่ะอาจารย์
Oh,
So
okay.
basically Sean can you help us to ask พี่ทอม about the question from the comment like from the audience that actually see from the stimulating chat
Okay. For
ค่ะ
now, question one. From is the building facade design a very important part of the building because it deals both with technical issues like wind load and aesthetics?
Actually, yes. The facade of the high-rise building is important. That is look like when you make up yourself. The facade is for maybe the first one is for aesthetic. The second one is for protect everyone who live inside the building. So it's important, yes. And for the facade design, the facade is need to calculate another, not just the wind load. There also has the OTTV calculation. That's for the consummation of the energy and the transfer of the energy from outside to inside the building. That need to calculate also.
ค่ะ and I also wondering about like I heard that you mentioned about the EIA what are the EIA actually are so I know it's about like the green things so we actually have to like thinking about that when we actually design the highlights building right the EIA
Yeah. EA, this is for environmental will impact to the building or the building impact to surrounding like or the people who live around the site. And also the EAA is like the core of the building we need to concern about. Like a green area we need to calculate for everyone need 1 square meter green area. So we need to plant or plant the tree or the green area for everyone in the building.
for
And
everyone
also,
in the building
yes,
Understand.
right.
So it actually have something like to get part with that, like for asking for like the government or something, the EIA. It's actually
Yeah,
about
we
that.
need to. We need to. It's the first one is EIA report. We need to make it, and after that we need to send to who someone who need to concern about, like the Bank of Metropolitan or the government. Yeah, like you talk.
Oh, I got it.
Understand?
And after that, we need to do another drawing for the building permit. The first one is EIA.
So meaning that we need to pass the EIA first before we
Yeah,
like planning the project, something like that.
yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Okay, another
Maybe we
question.
can do same time.
Or we
The
can do as a
building,
same time.
yeah, the
Okay.
first
But
and
ค่ะ.
yeah,
But if it not pass, what are we going to do? So the project is not going to running on, something like that.
we have two chance, two time to submit the EIA part. So the first one, if we cannot pass, we need to fix it and send to another time.
Mm-hmm.
We have two time to we have two chance to pass the EIA. If you can pass, you will waiting maybe 1 year or another year and reset again.
โอเคค่ะ Thank you ค่ะพี่ทอม Let's go to the next question ค่ะชอน
Another question from Geraldine. What is the most important consideration in design high-rise buildings?
Like I said, the most important consideration, uh, for me,
Yes.
it's about the function and the comfortability for the people who will use the space. So that means we need the word make the most how to say for the circulation is important, the most important. Uh, like the vertical transportation and also for the safety, like in the high-rise building we have problem to for someone who live in the top floor, how can we escape when we have the case of fire? So we can go to the top roof. We need to prepare for the uh, maybe the fire escape in the top floor. We call refuge area. We need to put on the top of the building, maybe for escape the fire. Some helicopter can be capture us on the top of the floor, or we can go down to the first floor. We need the staircase, maybe two. It has a code for the how many staircase we need for the building.
Is that right? Okay. Next question for Hathaika. What are the major challenges that architects and engineers face when designing high-rise buildings in Thailand, such as climate, earthquake, or another environmental factors?
So in Thailand, we just have the regulation or the code in Thailand for earthquake, just alive, and another for the OTTV calculation, we need to comply to the EIA report also, and also for building permit. So we need concern about that. For the part of architect, we need to uh, ask for the information from the engineer because we can calculate uh, the structure of the building. and the engineer need to send us send the information for architect to design the building. We need to cooperate each other for this part.
Sounds difficult.
Yeah, it is. Well, I think I can see the next question from Tan Shamun. She actually asking about like how do you ever had like the low
Yeah, effective,
effect?
effecting. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
The maybe is I have one project here. There it have it has the site condition. The site is very hard to design. So for this, just like the law or regulation need to concern about that in the term of explanation of the regulation is hard to understand, but we can ask for the government or BMA, the officer in the Bangkok, uh, to answer the question.
Understand. Okay, next question is quite very interesting. What is the most expensive facade material and most durable?
As we know, for the high-rise building, uh, we can see all of the high-rise building facade is the glass. The glass for now have very high technology and advanced technology for that. The material, this is also expensive material is the glass and the durable also because glass can be recycled,
Oh,
can be returned and make another glass. And for the technology today, we have a lot of glass we can choose. We can choose by the uh, capacity, by the color, something like that. The
sounds
glass is
interesting.
important for the high-rise buildings.
Okay, from Tajimon, last question. If we need to do a high-rise building, do we need to study in specific terms or only experience?
We need start this specific term. Specific term. Maybe experience also important. Yes. For the to study, that it depends on the size of the building. We need to or another requirement from the client. If we have, uh, if the client need the building is the green building, uh, just like office building, we have uh,
Oh,
a lot of building we requirement. We have requirement for green building. So we need to study for the green buildings, like we need to put on the solar cell on the facade or the rooftop, or we need another material, like green material, the glass, we need to calculate more specific, or the calculation of the energy transfer, something like that. We need for architect, we need to understand for the new information like energy consumption, the green building, or the material we need to put on the building. Yep.
ค่ะ so thanks everyone for your question ค่ะ audience so what do you think Sean about what we listening to about this. For me, it is still challenging for me, but it's a good chance for me to understand about the process of the highlights building project. What do you think about it, Sean?
Thank you, Happy Tom and everyone. For me, I feel like I'm getting more interested in it. After listening to Tom, I get to know more about high-rise building and other technical stuff. I know it's quite difficult to handle, but if I have the chance in the future, I want to get in some of these projects as well.
Mm. Yeah, me too. Well, before we have to say goodbye, do you actually have anything to tell us or to suggestion us maybe in the future if we have a chance to do something like the project that you actually mentioned too? Do you have anything to suggestion us, Kapi Tom?
Okay. The chance, maybe. Yes,
Maybe.
yes. This is the the first thing that we could have the chance. But the most important thing that we could have is the passion and
Mm.
inspiration. When you guys have passion and inspiration, please go through it, do it, and then you will know what you like or not. For the high-rise building design, they has the discipline and the basic already, and just go along with it and leave the rest for your design concept. This is important. If you have the strong design concept and concrete concept, that's because the design concept is like the guideline to the finalize the building. And for you guys, you are the student in architecture. For me, please feel free and make it fun. Uh, then you will be happy for your final project. And thank you very much for your invitation. And maybe some presentation will make your inspiration or maybe not. I don't know. Uh, but thank you very much for this session and good luck for you all.
ค่ะ
ขอบคุณครับ
thanks thanks you ค่ะ today พี่ทอม it's very extremely honor for พี่ทอม that you are our guest today and I hope in the future someday that we might have a chance to do something like what you just explaining thanks you
Yeah.
a lot ค่ะพี่ทอม
Thank you, Happy
Okay.
Tom, and
Thank you, you guys.
have a nice day, Tom.
Thank you.
I hope today's topic will be benefits for everyone and in the future as well for high-rise building design. If you are joining the high-rise building firm, cheers up you end the session now. Thank you for your attention.
thank you ค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you.
Nên nhiều cái lớp học ha. Em hiểu